This is Officer Martin here, and I'm going to tell you some history about the dimensional organization, and it's called dupe for a reason. So, there's quadrillions of dimensions. There's more dimensions made every day than a human mind, human Gorbianagust, anything can wrap their head around. So we mostly every single dimension. We mostly have an automated computer that mostly numbers any dimension created, unless there's thousands. Even our computers aren't even that fast sometimes. For example, there is a common thing mostly used as an example of how the dimensions work. There's actually a great example. When a rabbit jumps and 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 jumps, every single time that rabbit jumps makes a new dimension and can be in that one dimension. Yes, that's one of the more extreme examples, but it's really simple to have your mind around. And there's another thing is that we don't dimensional organization is older than a lot of dimensions. And most dimensions, for example, that are in like dimension 2024, that dimension's approximately, from my number, approximately a few 100 million years old. It's a youngish dimension. It's in a quadrant sector dimension. And you've heard me say sector dimension number. There's technically three different ways to calculate it. For example, there's the dimension number. For example, technically, dimension sector 40, dimension 2024, the one I'm going to be sending this to, who is technically 77248262199999448262499999994448. Yes, you might be thinking, wait, that's a lot of numbers. Yes, we know. That's the reason why we cut them in half somewhat. And quadrants are basically about 1 million quadrants, 1 million sectors in a quadrant. In a sector, there's approximately few 100 million dimensions. And I'm saying around that number. And there's a few things like that's basically how we catalog dimensions. Now we have divisions. For example, our officers division, basically people that go after dimensions in crisis. For example, dimensions that are going to flat out just get destroyed. Or category 0 dimensions. Dimensions where, like, imagine the Nazis in World War II winning. And another one is, there's lots of dimensions. And we try to evacuate those dimensions into refugee dimensions. Refugees, basically, the refugee division is basically have a home for people that had to escape their dimension. And there's approximately 32,992 dimensions of this moment. And I'm going to tell you the exact time in dimensional time right now. It is 5 p.m. dimensional time. But honestly, we work on our own 8-hour schedule, because there's no way in the universe, we can all agree on one time. And some people need special machines to actually be in the dimensional cortex. Because sometimes, and I say this sometimes because being in the room where you go from one dimension to another, there's dimensional doors. Basically, you open the door and it's a random place in that dimension, mostly on an earth of some sort. Anyway, a for example, if a dimension has equivalent, one dimensional second equals 10 years in that timeline. Yeah, somebody's actually nearly completely died in approximately 20 seconds. So we make machines that make it so we have machines that make it so people from dimensions, for example, allied dimensions to the dimensional organization, people that are in dimensions where they have different time zone, we call them time zones. For examples, we semi change the aging process with the machine, or we just change the area they're going to be in. Because we've had multiple times where people from dimensions where their age increases by double in approximately half an hour. So anyway, yeah, this recording's a little long, but basically the runaround of the dupe organization. Should